the show that we call Breaking Bad broken down. Shit's heating up. Hank is right on Walt's tail, but it seems like Walt is... he's kind of dodging Hank.
And Skyler was all team Walt because she got pushed against that wall, and then we got to see what she was doing.
And then we ended the episode with Hank going into the interrogation room and the door closing with him and Jesse inside.
I'm Steve Zaragoza.
I'm Philip DeFranco.
I'm Elliott Morgan.
Get out if you don't want to know spoilers about the episode. If you haven't watched it, you're a jerk. So it's episode 11.
Right.
And it's called Confessions.
Because there's a confession.
If you break down the word confession, like it's like con, which sounds like con, and then it's fess, which I hate doing that, boys.
Is there a fess?
I can't get through one.
Is that where the origins of confession? The word fess?
Yeah. So it opens up though with our favorite character, Meth Damon.
Meth Damon.
And
his wacky Aryan family.
Do you want that to be a spin-off?
That should be a spin-off, yeah. It's just them wearing white cloaks everywhere and doing drugs.
Well, I just love the guy has the huge swastika on his neck, and he's just like, "Thank you, darling. We'll take the check now."
I was waiting for like something horrible to happen to that girl. I was like, "You should not surf them." And then I'm watching it. I'm like, man, it must suck to be a waitress.
Yeah.
Well, and
like, all the time.
You can see like how just like these guys are the straight up cold-blooded killers.
Yeah.
Like he's like, let me clean this blood off
no
my
problem.
boot.
Yep.
Yeah. Yep. Well, just flush it. Yeah.
And then fucking Meth Damon apparently has the loosest lips.
Just blabbering.
Of every character ever.
He's calling him Mr. White to those people. Yeah, and he's like on the phone talking.
Did you guys hear about Mr. White?
Like,
we stole a bunch of stuff.
Yeah.
He's super smart. Like he's just a mastermind. The best. It was the most amazing thing I've ever done. And
Yeah.
It's like, okay,
so I
this
think
is gonna be bad.
So that kind of it brings my theories a little bit closer to fruition. I think about the Aryans and like the Czech Republic and Lydia kind of being the reason why Walt has the big gun in his trunk.
Yeah, there's something going on there.
Something's
sure.
going to happen.
Brewing.
See, because these guys are going to screw up in some way. Maybe they're going to need Walt to cook the meth again or something, or who knows? Who knows?
That was the interesting thing, because he's on the phone, and he's like, I'm going to leave this voicemail that's easily trackable.
Yep.
No
and there's
problem.
nothing vague about it at all.
No,
Change of management.
He should be like, we murdered a bunch of people. If you could come in now, we have openings.
I know you're all busy in retirement or whatever that line was. Hilarious.
Yeah.
Right, like no one's going to be able to decipher it. Like,
No, not
so
at
you
all.
cook meth, and you talk to this guy about...
And there was a mysterious set of murders in the desert where we found Nazi flags.
Knowing this show, they wouldn't be able to prove anything.
So do you think the question is that Walt's going to have to go scorched earth on these fuckers because they're loose lips, or these guys are going to threaten him and like maybe be his savior in a way? Like he's going to have to deal with like the craziest of the crazy to get rid of everyone else.
Well, I heard a theory that like maybe the Aryans threaten Walt's family and say like, we're gonna hurt you or your family, we're gonna hurt your family if you don't come back and help us make this meth, because obviously they're gonna get heat from the Czech Republic or whoever it is that's gonna actually come down on them for the quality of the Blue Sky not being up to snuff anymore. So I feel like maybe it's gonna be that. I mean, these guys are impulsive and like frightening enough that I could see them not giving a shit and going and threatening Walt's family. But I mean, I don't know. It's crazy because you can't figure it out.
I think you have, like, in this show, you have people that are very clearly designed to basically be plot devices and push everything forward, and then you have the core group. Like, I think that's how come when we talk about, like, Walt Jr. and, like, everything, like, I think he's more than a plot device. The baby, on the other hand, when Marie's trying to freaking steal it in the last episode. So I think the Aryan guys are essentially, like you say, they're going to be a plot point.
They have to be,
They're going to push the story along in some way, but not in a way I think that makes them characters, which means they're not going to do something that makes them a mastermind. They're just going to be like dumb guys that get Walt in trouble.
I want Jesse to have to kill Meth Damon, and then he eats his soul, and he becomes the one.
Like
that Jet Li movie. I think that's...
He's like becomes actual Matt Damon.
Listen, we wanted to make something that literally no one could predict. So this is what we're doing in the show.
They brought in the guys from Lost. They're like, just do it. Fuck it, really.
Oh, God,
wait, you have loose ends? Cool, we're gonna just fray all of these loose ends.
And then I think the next big scene is the most awkward dinner ever.
So awkward.
I love the background music. It's just at the fucking...
The waiter.
The waiter's the best part.
You want some guac?
We make it right at the table.
And he's like, oh, I should not be here at all.
He looks around.
It's so crazy. And I just love Hank's million-mile stare, like, right under his brow. It's just like, Hank's ready to just punch him.
Yeah,
Like,
Hank's
he's
just-
just,
Marie's like, Why don't you kill yourself?
Just kill yourself.
Can
It's
you
crazy.
imagine saying that? Imagine being the server and you hear somebody go, "Hey, kill yourself."
Yeah, it's crazy. And
then-
Skyler's sitting there listening
Yeah,
to her sister say
Skyler
that.
fucking said that before. I'm waiting for the cancer to come back, and then she's like, "How dare you say those words?"
Well, actually, before the awkward lunch or dinner scene, there's Walt sitting down on the bed and Skyler setting up the camera. They're obviously going to make a sex tape. Is what they're-
yes.
And twist ending, it does turn out to be a sex tape.
Yeah, no,
Boom.
but, no, that's the biggest twist. No, but that's the thing. I mean, Walt's sitting down. This has to be done. I'm Walter Hartwell White,
Well,
and you think that's that.
Well, but
Yeah.
it also has the parallel to what? The first episode.
Yeah.
where
When
he-
he's confessing in his underwear.
Yeah, but this time he's telling a completely fake story. Did the scene happen with Walt Jr. before that, where he's like,
Yeah, it was before that.
It is before that,
yeah.
because he's like, "Dad, where's breakfast?" And he's like, "I
Yeah.
have cancer. I have cancer."
Dad, is breakfast ready? That's the only
Oh,
his
yes,
every
that-
sentence is breakfast. I know, it's so heart-wrenching.
Yep.
Like, you're just sitting there, and Walter Jr., he's such a good kid. He's like, no, you know what? I'm not going to go see what my aunt wants. I'm going to hang out with my dad because now I know that the cancer's back. Like, it's just heartbreaking.
Pure
Literally-
manipulation.
Just
Yes.
Walt's manipulating his child, man.
Literally, the only time Walt Jr. did maybe even a slightly bad thing was where he guilted his dad into getting him a car, and then he blew it up.
Yeah.
He was like, "Fuck that car!" Like, just didn't
He's
care.
then he's thinking when he's making the tape that it's like, this is it, like, because he's
Right.
just talked to Walter Jr. This is him confessing to his children. You know, you're gonna find this.
Oh, did you
tape.
actually think he was like confessing?
Well, no, I thought it was gonna be for his kids. I thought it was gonna be like, this is the tape that
I'm
one
gone.
day.
Well,
yeah,
for-
I'm sorry. This is the truth about what I was doing. I'm a bad father. You know, I love you. I'm sorry. But yeah,
I thought it was going to be a confession, and he was going to sell everyone else out. Like, if anyone fucks me over, like, I'm going down, and I'm going to take everyone else
Yeah.
out with me, and it was my safety. But yeah, it ended up being something completely different. But then, so they're at dinner, right? She's like, "You go kill yourself." How dare you say that?
How
Emma?
could you possibly, person who's responsible for countless murders?
Right, and then he drops the DVD, and you're like, "What the fuck's that
What's
about?"
this?
And
Yeah.
then
That was so
we go into the
exciting.
scene where we're watching it, and I'm like, "Oh no, what? This makes no sense." And then he fucking throws Hank under the bus.
well,
I
and
want
it's-
somebody to do like
yeah.
a video of like show like the screen or whatever with that confession, Hank and Marie, and then I want there to be a camera that was like me watching, and like
Just so
Well,
it's
it
the
would-
same.
and then somebody
Same
else
Well, that's what I was
reaction,
gonna say.
probably.
It's like
Like
the
one of
thing
those
when you point the
paintings.
camera at the monitor and you
Yeah.
see the infinite amount of people.
the
like
mirror-
doing-
the mirror
Yeah,
thing,
that's
just
exactly
like-
what it'd be. Well, I want to see the the idea that Hank and Marie, because they didn't stay and have Mexican food. They probably didn't stick around and have some enchiladas. They
Unless
probably
it was
got
really
that
good.
DVD.
I mean, they do make the guac at the
I mean, it
table.
might be a good
They do
place.
make guac.
The guac at the table might have been delicious, but no, they took the DVD. I just want to see that awkward moment of driving home and opening the door. Because have you ever, like, you guys ever have the excitement of something you just got, like a new video game or like a new movie, and you're like,
that's- yeah, they
this is
should've
the-
shown us that.
You know, that's the thing. This is the thing I want to do. I want to go straight home and I want to watch this movie or play this game. I
is
feel
it.
like,
This is-
yeah,
You want that scene.
Yeah, I want Marie to be like, so are we gonna like do the dishes? Or are we gonna, we're gonna watch this DVD, bitch.
They should have like
We're gonna
they
watch-
should have done a close up of the DVD coming out and it being like Men in Black
Yeah.
or something, and like all right,
Yeah,
watch
we're
that.
done.
and so that's playing the entire time, and it's just this beautiful like monologue.
Fucking crazy.
And Cranston
Detailing everything.
Cranston, and then I think even saying Walter White instead of Cranston, doing that acting, that
Yeah.
crying, and
Well-
and he's just like,
Yeah.
"Oh my god!"
Mm-hmm.
And then the realization that Walt paid his medical bills.
Well, and that's that, and that was the thing I was kind of talking about. Like
Yeah.
whatever Hank had on Walt, like it didn't matter because at the end of the day, Walt still has that trump card of paying for those
Yep.
damn medical bills,
Yeah.
and that's the crazy thing. But another thing is someone on the subreddit was saying Walter White is a better Walter White is a better actor than Bryan Cranston.
I can actually
Because
kind of
it's-
believe that.
Right? Because it's like Walter White actually saying, and I had a
Crying.
fear for my family and my life. But yeah, you're thinking like, this is the most fucked up thing ever. Are you still Team Walt from that fucking
So
DVD, man?
here's the deal. So for the DVD, yes. At that point, at the DVD scene, I'm still there. I'm trying to remember how everything happened chronologically, because the one scene I will say, because so obviously there's the realization that he paid his medical bills, and he's like, I'm fucking done.
Yeah.
I can't go after this guy without destroying myself. So it's mutually assured destruction. The one scene that I thought, oh shit, maybe I'm not 100% Team Walt, is when Jesse's out in the desert, and I was like, oh my god.
me for 10
Yeah,
seconds.
and Jesse's like lost it. He's at this point he's just like he's putting stuff together, and he's like, don't fuck with me.
Yeah.
Don't fuck with me anymore. Just say it. And then he still doesn't do it. He hugs him.
Yep.
And it's just
I really wanted in that moment for him just to go, leave or I'll kill
No, but seriously,
So
like,
I mean, but in so many ways, it
basically
meant
did.
that, and it meant I'm sorry, and it's just you can interpret that scene as so many different things.
I didn't see it as an I'm sorry. I think that maybe in some way he still like has this love for him. I don't see that. I think he's literally
No,
Jesse.
God, no. Yeah.
Jesse's like just this thing in
Totally.
his way.
Yeah.
But he doesn't want to kill him. Like
Yeah.
he still has this weird love for
Well,
him.
I see it as
Even
utter
the-
manipulation now.
I
Like,
mean,
I
but-
think, like, I don't even think there's a Team Walt now. I think it's just, he's Heisenberg. Like, he's
Yeah.
no longer, the Walt is
Yeah.
the show. Like, it used to be, when the show started, it was Walt, and then he'd kind of, like, act like Heisenberg. Like, I'm the
Now
bad
it's
guy.
Heisenberg
Right.
acting
And now
like Walt.
it's
Especially
Yeah.
in the
Inverse.
in the car wash when he's like, I'm gonna go and do this. It's
Yeah.
not Walt anymore.
Hey, there's a light from the. There's a.
That was the weirdest scene.
I was saying, it was like.
I got this thing.
Yeah. It's
Over
like,
here
it's
that
like
I need
when,
to get.
It's like when Cindy Lou Who comes downstairs and the Grinch is there. There's a light on this tree that won't blink just right. Don't mind me, I'm Santa.
Yeah,
Take
well,
it back to the workshop.
We really have to talk about Walt, just kind of like, because like Walt not wanting to kill Jesse is kind of a good point, because you're right. I don't think he wants to just straight up kill him.
I think he's open to it now, though.
But now,
yeah.
well, now because
might-
of his past, we know Walt's just seeing him as an object in the way.
And I do wonder if, like, Walt, it's not even he doesn't want to kill him thing. Maybe he's just thinking that it'll be cleaner. Like, it's just this, like, maybe he is that far that he doesn't have that love that I think he has, like, even that threat of it. Maybe he's just like, this will be a lot cleaner if you just fucking go, and I don't have to, like, murder you
Well,
in the desert.
I think that's what's happening. But now we have. I mean, okay, we'll get to that in a minute. But
Yeah.
the other thing I want to think of is when Walt accidentally killed. I mean, and I'm saying accidentally because when Walt killed Mike, when you watch that scene again.
Oh, he was going to kill him.
Well, I want to feel like he was just going to threaten him. When Walt fires the gun, there's a look of absolute surprise in his face, like, what did I just do?
I mean, literally taking Mike, who is one of the scariest people in the show because he's so just like, this is the way it's going to be, and just fucking pointed a gun, you're dead. And then Mike just
but
But you know what I
think
think it is in regards to Jesse? I think it's Walt kills people who don't. Who don't love him back. Like, I think ultimately he doesn't see Jesse
Or
as a
don't
threat because
see it his way.
Yeah, Jesse, I think he knows that Jesse likes him and sees him as a father.
Yeah.
And so that's why he's doing the manipulation thing, but it also, I think, is why he wouldn't kill him, because he does recognize that, like, not even from, like, an emotional thing, but just pragmatically. Like,
Yeah.
Okay,
I don't
so
think Jesse would do anything.
So Walt convinces Jesse to leave.
Yeah.
And so Jesse goes to Saul's, and they're gonna call that vacuum cleaner
Fantastic.
guy. And
Oh,
there's
no.
this tense scene where you're thinking, what is Jesse thinking here? He's starting his life over, but he's so excited. He's gonna leave. He's scared too. Honestly, you can see him scared.
But even I'm scared at that point
Yeah.
because I'm like, is this really a guy that's going to give him a new ID? Like, the van pulls up, and you're like, is he paying his own murderer?
I thought it was a murder, yeah.
I didn't
Yeah.
even think about that, and I read that in the subreddit too. And you're
Maybe,
absolutely right.
I don't know.
I mean,
I was
because
like, I think he just realized that Walt was setting him up.
Well, so he has that realization where he's like, where are my drugs?
yeah.
Like, the everything's going to shit because of meth Damon and some weed that got taken.
Yeah.
Like, that's it.
Well, I mean, he knew what he had on him. He had to know what he had on him because this was pretty much it. Like, he has
So-
everything he's going to take with him on him.
And that kind of is like the crux of the entire episode when he makes that realization, which I was like baffled. I was totally confused. I was like, what the crap is going on here?
Yeah.
Because he takes out the
and he
cigarette
starts shaking.
and he makes this like crazy connection. Yeah, he's
Yeah.
shaking, and you've seen Jesse completely aloof for the past couple episodes, and now he's like all of a sudden something clicks in
Yeah.
him, and it's just freaking crazy.
Yeah, because you got to remember that the thing that happened with Brock,
Right.
and the Lily of the Valley, and then the stuff with Huel bouncing into him and taking the ricin from him, that all happened like really not that long ago in the timeline of the show. Gus just died pretty much basically in the show. It's 4 months after Gus is dead, so this is all still fresh in Jesse's mind. Like, he's still screwed up from the Brock stuff, from the kid being shot by Meth Damon. So he's remembering Huel bumping into him. He's remembering like the whole swipe thing. He's remembering I had cigarettes in my pocket and I had weed in the same pocket I had my cigarettes. And then he's putting two and two together and he's like, is it that easy for Huel to
logical.
swipe shit?
Yeah.
I mean, and Jesse's not stupid. He came up with the magnets thing, which is the way that they fucking
Yeah,
destroyed
that
the
was awesome.
laptop. And he knows Walt's playing him now, and he's just a different guy now. He's growing up. We're watching him grow up. We're watching him get smarter. And now we have an insanely rage-filled Jesse who is just going to Walt's house and filling it with gasoline.
Well, first he stopped by and says hi to Saul real fast.
Oh, that's right.
Oh yeah, we can't forget
He's
that.
like,
scene.
Saul, I'm gonna
We
murder
can't.
you.
Dude, did you think that was it for Saul? I thought
did.
he was gonna shoot him.
Me too.
I honestly thought he's cowering in the corner and that's it.
Well,
But
so-
Jesse doesn't have bloodlust.
Right, but I also feel like So the thing that's gonna come down is because I was talking about were they gonna kill someone now and then just let stuff go? Is it gonna be the first kill is gonna happen and then that's our sprint to the end?
Yeah.
Because that's for a second I thought he was gonna break in. I thought he was gonna pop Saul. And then it was just like, okay, well, here we go for the next
0 hour.
5 more episodes.
Yeah,
right?
Die.
Yeah, because we still have to fast forward a year at some point because it's Walt at 52.
I wonder if that'll be the whole episode, like the last.
So yeah, I don't know, maybe because isn't the last episode supposedly a longer one too? It's like going to be the longest one of the whole series. But yeah, we've got But I mean, when we see the Walt's house in the flash forward, does it look like it's burnt? Does it look like it's been burnt?
That's what people were saying.
Yeah, so I don't know. So Jesse maybe has a change of heart. Maybe Walter Jr.'s home, and he's like,
I'm telling Walt Jr. I'm putting my money. It's gonna be important. I'm like the guy at like the horse racing.
Is someone cooking breakfast?
It's gonna be this
Well,
horse.
it could be because I mean, think about it, right? So if something bad happens at the house and Walt Jr. gets hurt, it's going to directly be Walt's fault because not only did he put everything into place, but he convinced and guilted his son into staying because he told him he had cancer.
Like if they panned over, I was so hoping they panned over to just show with headphones in, just like chilling.
Well, it's funny because
stain of gas trickles into his bedroom. No big deal.
Well, in the first time in the whole series, we're finally seeing the repercussions of Walt's luck.
Yeah.
Like we're finally seeing Walt getting his just deserves. It's actually happening now. And so we're actually going to see how he can't get away with the shit he's been doing. Now there's serious repercussions. You're hurting people's lives. You're ruining people's lives. This is kind of the end. This is literally the end of all of it.
I liked how yesterday too, or this episode, it was like we got to see things that were kind of new to the story. Like prior to this, it had been kind of catching up, like saying what the theories are basically for the previous episode. And the first episode was kind of seeing the inevitable, which was the interaction between Hank and Walt. But now we're like starting to really see actual things. Point A is leading to point B instead of just like, okay, well that was bound to happen.
I feel like we're getting to a point now where, because there's so many people going like, I called it, I called this, I called that, and Sarah last night was like, I knew it, and I feel like at this point, like we need to go into this show now with no more fucking ideas of how it's going to end.
Now it's not a
we
puzzle
have to
solve.
stop.
Yeah.
Well, we have to stop because ultimately, if we let's say we figure out how the show ends right now, we're going to watch that finale, and and if it is, all we're going to think about is how we called it and how we knew it was going to happen.
You think so?
That's
take it away?
Absolutely.
I think it takes away from it. When you sit there and you speculate and you exhaust it, like I think there's a point of it where it gets you excited about it and gets you excited about watching it. But when it becomes like he was right. Oh, that's a good thing. Man, I should have thought of that. Like it takes you out of it a little bit, I think.
I don't know. I mean, I feel like it's part of the fun. When we saw that, whatchamacallit, like when he has the tape, and I was like, oh, it's kind of like what Steve said, but even to a greater extent. I was like, that's awesome. Yeah. This is so awesome.
I mean, I guess there is that to a degree, but I just, at this point, since it's the end, I want to go in so fresh-minded. I don't want to guess these things anymore. I don't want to feel like I can be on any kind of same level as these writers and these creators. I just don't want it. I want to stop.
I don't think we will be. I think
fuck
we'll be
that
safe.
idea. Because I think the house isn't going to burn down, at least not yet.
Okay.
Or if it is burnt, it's going to be only mild damage.
Okay.
Right. I think Walt Jr. has to go at some point. Right. He has.
Oh, that makes me so, dude. I'm gonna bawl like a baby if that happens.
Everybody will, and that's gonna be the point where everyone's all in.
God.
Yeah, that's the thing, because someone has to die. It's going to be whatever that fucking first kill is. Like the first main character kill, it's going to be the thing I think that's going to lead to the sprint.
Yeah, but we got to think about Walt and the way he reacts to things. As soon as
He's already got a gun.
But check this out. As soon as Walt figures out that Jesse tried to burn down his fucking house, that's it. I mean, Jesse's already an obstacle in the way of his survival. It's
now,
Walt against Jesse now.
I think in the preview, I think it has Walt.
Oh, don't tell me! I don't want to know. I don't watch the previews. I don't watch the
coming
previews.
home.
Well, that's a logical thing. Pretty much it's inevitable.
What? Oh no! Walt's going home, even though that's obvious what he's doing next.
Even though that's what
Eventually
people
he's going
do
home.
when they finish
All
their
right.
work at the car wash.
Okay, two things before we finish this thing. Is it Walt or is it Jesse that spray paints Heisenberg in his house? I don't know. And number two,
I mean, who cares if it
can
is?
Walt hold the gun that he has in his trunk? Can he even hold it?
Oh, that one.
Think about it.
I thought you
I'm
meant the
serious.
frozen one. I was like,
is
oh,
it
it's very
cold
cold.
as ice?
It's very
No,
cold.
I'm talking about the one in the trunk. That's not a gun you can hold and fire, is it?
That's a planted, so that has to be like final shootout in the desert, probably.
Right? It has to be like a setup. Is that the one we fired with
Well,
Richard
no.
Ryan, pretty much?
No, that what you shot was a 50 cal. What he had, it looked like I'm trying to remember that scene. I'm trying to think. I think it's like an automatic, something massive.
I don't know. It's huge though. It's not something you
can't
hold.
remember.
I think it's
I can't
called Big
remember.
Gun.
Well, everyone's
Big
thinking
gun.
Walt's gonna grab this thing and go like there's no way he can hold that thing.
I
No,
hope
I mean,
that
what-
is how it is. I hope he thinks that's how it's gonna be, and he's like, ah,
and
dang
then he
it.
just can't lift it.
No, I want it to be like he's talked to like everyone that's either coming after him or needing him into the desert, and he just like here it is.
Everybody, and it's just a
I'm still. I think the one thing that'll make me not Team Walt is if he directly kills Jesse, and I think that'll be like, oh, I lost you, Walt. Other than that, I'm probably on board.
You're still on board?
He could kill Skyler. I'd be like,
I feel like at the end of every episode, I'm gonna come to you and be like, "You still on board? You still on
Well, I'm
board?"
gonna start calling it Team Heisenberg.
Team
though,
Heisenberg, yeah, because it's not Walt
Relabeling.
anymore.
But we'd love to know what you thought
Yeah.
about the episode. What do you think's gonna happen next episode? Things and stuff and words. Any final thoughts?
No final thoughts. I'm just excited.
I have final thoughts. Shout out to Saul Goodman for just being fantastic.
Yeah, he's great.
When he gets the crap punched out of him, gun in his face, and then picks up his phone and says exactly what he always says, which is, "Hey, we got a big problem." Instead
Yeah.
of like, "Hey, we got
Yeah.
a small problem. We got a big problem, small problem." He's always saying that. It's
Well,
great.
I mean, yeah, it's just a big roller coaster, and Huel and everybody. I can't. My brain. I
What
can't.
if Huel's behind all of it?
Still.
By the way, have you guys thought about how Huel is the cause for like the actual break, the moment that Jesse and Walt's friendship is over? It's Huel's fault. I mean, it's Saul's fault, but Huel is the catalyst for
Saul's
that.
fault.
It's Saul's fault ultimately, but
I
Huel's
mean,
the one that
it's
causes
probably
it.
Walt's
Yeah.
fault, right? like a
Ultimately,
little
yeah.
bit.
All right,
But
it's God's fault.
it's God's fault for making Walt.
Oh, getting religious.
All right, guys, thanks so much for watching. Do all that stuff Phil said, and we'll see you next time.
Bye.
Fuck this video.
Holy shit, let's go! Come on!